Welcome to Architrave Gaming. I'm the Archmaster. It's so good to be back. This video might just be me talking about how glad I am to be back more than anything else. I've missed this so much. I want to share things. Okay, so previously on Architrave Gaming YouTube channel, a lot of what I've been doing is just giving you snippets of world building ideas. Like, oh, here's a specific idea. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. And here may be a couple ways you can use them, right? But I can't drop that. So part of part of what I'm trying to do here isn't just help you be a better GM. Yes, sure, absolutely, better world builder and GM, and all of that is included in everything that I intend to offer eventually. But one of the big things that I am itching to do, and what I think will be the actual, main course of what I'm doing here, is getting you. I know. Prepare yourself. This isn't going to be what you want to hear. It's getting you to fall in love with my world and my game and my content, all this stuff. And for D&D GMs and world builders, it's like, oh, come on, dude. I have my own worlds. My own world, my own homebrew thing. It's made, like, I don't care how great your child is. I like my child better because it's my child, right? I totally understand. Absolute same, right? But I know that what I actually want to do isn't that, it's not that out there. There are people who play Elder Scrolls and will buy the next Elder Scrolls game and even play an Elder Scrolls RPG, a tabletop game, simply because they fell in love with the Elder Scrolls, and they'll play that. So that's what I'm actually trying to do here. I'm not just trying to give you generic ideas to make your generic fantasy world better. I'm trying to make something that's so compelling, so visually stunning, so, epic to play in gameplay, whether it's tabletop or video game or whatnot. I want to make something that's just so wonderful that you fall in love with it and say, oh yeah, I have my own world, but it's not really in competition with this. What Architrave Gaming is making, I love that. It is so cool. I want to play there. I want to be there. I want to do whatnot. Yes, I have my own homebrew stuff, but I'm absolutely in love with that content, with that, everything in there. That's what I'm really actually going for. And along the way, as I tell you, hey, here's this great thing, this great, gameplay, or this great, world building snippet or whatnot, you can take that and add it to your own tabletop stuff. But that doesn't detract from the awesomeness that is Apsyildon. Actually, that's the thing. I haven't been able to tell anyone what the actual name of the whole big project is because I didn't have the website domain for it yet, but now I do. So now I can finally tell everyone my world and game and like everything that I'm building, the entire project is Apsyildon, and it'll probably be in the title. But yes, Apsyildon is the big thing. There is the one of 13 tabletop games, which is Arches and Avatars, and one of 13 worlds, like full settings, like the Forgotten Realms is a full setting, like it has its own planet and everything. I have 13 full big settings with multiple planets and layers and dimensions and planes and everything. And each of those is, a different setting. The one I'll talk about now is Colin Arch. Colin Arch is the main big setting. You have Greyhawk, Forgotten Realms, Colin Arch, right? And so both Colin Arch, the setting, and Arches and Avatars, the tabletop game, all fall under Apsyildon as the big project. And I also intend to have video games. I'm not going to talk about any of the titles of those. Those are probably decades in the future. But this Apsyildon itself is so enormous and just so... It has somehow shaped itself to be so versatile that it can apply to anything and everything in what I find to be really interesting ways. And so my big long future plans are to spend decades of a big career manifesting everything in Apsyildon in a bunch of different ways all over the place. And yes, tabletop for now is the first one I'm doing because this is frankly the cheapest, the easiest way. Starting with tabletop is a lot easier than starting with a video game or a movie or a TV series. And I just don't have the patience right now for a book. I don't have any particular story I want to tell in book form, so that's not the route I wanted to take. Although a lot of people are like, you should just write a book. They hear about the world building, the stories, and the things that have happened in the world, and they're like, just write a book. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I can write. I've done some writing. I wouldn't call myself a writer. I'm not a book author at all. But it would take so many years to actually get good at that and to do Apsyildon, to do anything that I make justice. I would much rather get really big in like tabletop games and then that lead to video games, and then let other people write novels off of my stuff. Like, hey, like license it out. Hey, can I make a novel off of your world? It's the whole 80-20 principle. Yeah, I could do everything. I could make my own indie game and try to make my own movie and TV show and video game and tabletop and write my own books, but I probably don't have enough lifespan for all that. I would much rather just do the one thing I'm really good at and let everyone else help in all the other tertiary tangents of how to manifest Apsyildon. My main thing is to just make Apsyildon so compelling and so interesting that there are a lot of other people out there who are attracted to it and who want to build something epic out of it. Anyway, yeah, all that to say, like this, my comeback video, I know it's been almost a week. I didn't plan to take this long to actually release something. It's been like stinking forever. I might release this tomorrow, so it might actually be a week. But anyway, yeah. Next few videos, I'm intending to actually give you some specific world building stuff about Colonarch, my main setting, my first setting of 13. So, instead of saying, oh, here's this idea where you have elemental air and it gives you like freedom abilities, which is like fly and levitation and haste and blah, blah, blah. I'll actually show you, here's a specific town. This is how they use air. This is what it does. This is how they do it and blah, 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 right? Actually like show you the thing instead of give you generic ideas that you may or may not be able to use in your own world. It's probably a lot better if I give you something specific and concrete with real examples so you can say, ooh, I'm just going to drag and drop that town into my own world. Or you can say, I really see now what he means when he says, X, Y, Z, when he's talking about elements and stuff. Now I actually see what that means. And that's actually really interesting. Let me port it in. And it also, the main thing, gets you interested in Apsyildon. Like, wow, that's really cool. Tell me more about that city and that story and that continent. How do other people do that? How do the other races do that? Anyway, I think... Actually, I want to talk about music. Okay, the next video, I'm going to talk about music and how it's inspired me. It'll just be this, like, rant of me just saying, I think music is great and awesome, and I've got to do that. I've got to tell you about it. It'll probably have zero actual useful world-building stuff at all. It's pretty much just me telling you where I get my inspiration and why Apsyildon is, why it was made, and what it's made of. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and feeding the algorithm and all that. God bless.